Dating advice on TikTok is honestly just like fast food for your brain. It's cheap, it's addictive, and if you consume too much of it, you're just gonna end up sick and alone like a Victorian ghost haunting your ex's Instagram at 3 AM. TikTok is a wonderful place where you're fed things like your girlfriend having Instagram is the same thing as cheating.
If her Instagram is on public, she is cheating on you. If your girl is in a relationship with you, other men shouldn't have access to even see what she looks like.
Let that marinate. Or that men and women can never be friends and have never been friends in the history of time.
I don't think that men and women can be friends. That's absolutely unacceptable. If he's not your brother or your cousin or your father or your uncle, then you shouldn't have any communication with him, you know?
Or one I found recently is that you should just stay in relationships with people that you hate. Like, who is coming up with this? Oh, that's right. It's a bunch of like chronically single 20-something-year-olds yelling into a camera in front of a ring light. And the funniest thing is that consistently none of these people appear to have like a history of long, healthy relationships. The manosphere dudes giving out high value male advice. Single, can't keep a girl. The girls preaching date them until you hate them, not in happy relationships. This is the equivalent of letting a bankrupt person tell you how to invest your money. But here's the issue, these takes aren't just dumb, and they are, but they're also damaging. They go viral because they're extreme, but then thousands of people, especially young people, especially young men, take them very seriously. And that's how you end up with a whole generation who thinks love is supposed to feel like a never-ending hostage negotiation and power struggle. So today, let's break down some of the worst trending TikTok dating myths, and more importantly, why they're the emotional equivalent of petrol station sushi. So just when you think online dating advice can't get any more unhinged, along comes this dude who's here to tell us that if a woman has a public Instagram, that's cheating. Not that she's cheating on Instagram. If she has the Instagram, that is the cheating. That's...
If her Instagram is on public, she is cheating.
Tell us, King.
You think your woman will let you go to the club and actively be hit on by other women who desire you, who could possibly be better looking than her? No. Well, that's what Instagram is.
Hold up. So he's starting off with an unhealthy premise, which is you can't let your partner go to nightclubs, or you shouldn't let your partner go to nightclubs. He's starting off with the assumption that everyone thinks that. If you are in a healthy, happy relationship, you are fine with your significant other going to a pub, going to a nightclub. That's a normal thing to do.
No. Well, that's what Instagram is. Instagram is a dating app. The biggest thing.
No, it's not. Like... Incorrect assumption number 2, Instagram is a dating app. Instagram is not a dating app. Never has been.
And if your girl is in a relationship with you, other men shouldn't have access to even see what she looks like because they're gonna be DMing her.
Oh, is this the Taliban? What? Other men can't even look at your girlfriend. They can't even know what your girlfriend's like now. This has nothing to do with Instagram. This has everything to do with insecurity.
They're gonna be DMing her. They're gonna be liking her pictures. What is the purpose of your woman constantly being hit on by other men when she's in a relationship? When a woman is in a relationship,
that happens anyway. Like, cheating happens when your partner is unfaithful to you, not when other people are interested in them. That's not where the cheating happens, babe. And the point he's making here is like, why should she be out in the public eye, being looked at by other people? What's the point of your woman being hit on if she's in a relationship? Even if she doesn't have Instagram, even if she doesn't go to the club, that will happen anyway. As a woman, unfortunately, I've got really bad news for this guy. You get hit on in public all the time, just going about your day. So unless you plan to lock your girlfriend up in the house, that's not gonna get rid of that. You are not gonna stop men hitting on your girlfriend, ever. Do not date baddies if you don't want them to be hit on. The same reason you're attracted to them is the reason everyone else is too. You can't control that. You can control your insecurities though.
She needs to make herself only available for her man. Other men shouldn't even exist. This does not mean she can't have a profile, but she can have a profile with just her friends. If your girlfriend's page is on public, chances are them DMs are being flooded and she's entertaining your possible replacement.
So we've started at A, we've ended at Z. He started at, if she's got a public profile, men are probably DMing her. Maybe. But then he's used that to conclude, oh, she's also entertaining your replacement. See, that's 2 whole separate things. I don't really know if the people watching this need me to break that down because it's fairly obvious. Someone having options doesn't mean they are entertaining those options. A loyal person is not doing that. End of story. So that's number 1. Number 2 is your girlfriend has options and offers with or without Instagram. You will never erase that. Again, unless you're locking her up in the house. So what men like this really need to address is their own insecurities. And the thing is, if a cheater wants to cheat, no amount of removing the options is going to stop that. In the same vein that if your girlfriend is loyal, no amount of options is going to change that. Stop conflating the two. So apparently cheating in 2025 just now includes a woman existing in public, being physically visible to anyone but their boyfriend. Interesting. Here's the thing, the internet rewards the loudest, most controversial voices, not the most helpful ones. Not the most educated ones. No one's going viral for being like, hey, maybe you guys should just communicate and work out what your boundaries are before you get in a relationship. The stuff that blows up is whatever is extreme enough to keep people arguing in the comments. That's obviously not a well-balanced education. And that is where today's sponsor, Beducated, comes in. It's basically sex ed for adults. We all got the bare minimum sex ed in school. Beducated flips that on its head. Real, practical techniques and guidance from experts. Beducated is essentially the antidote to this like fast food TikTok brain rot. It's packed with courses taught by experts, not randoms on TikTok. The courses cover so many different topics, everything from improving intimacy to better communication and actually building confidence in relationships. And the cool part is that it's practical. You don't just like listen to vague advice. You can actually watch and learn skills that you can apply straight away. Things like how to have more productive conversations about boundaries, which this guy could probably benefit from. How to deepen your intimacy, how to bring more like confidence or creativity into your sex life. It's stuff that no one teaches you in school. No one teaches you generally, really. But it makes all the difference when feeling like stuck in different patterns and getting conflicting advice from people on the internet and actually enjoying the connections that you have with people. And Beducated is also super easy to fit into your life. The courses are short and you can do them at your own pace. They cover everything from like beginner basics to more advanced topics. Think of it as like upgrading the most important parts of your life and the part that actually makes you happier day to day. So if you actually want to learn how to have better relationships and don't want to be taking terrible advice from kids on TikTok, if you want more than just consuming hot takes online, head to Beducated. I've also got a link below for you to try it out. And you can use my code Brianne for 50% off the yearly membership. You can also use my link below, but that's 50% off the yearly membership, which is insane. Beducated is hands down the best place to start. I haven't found a better resource than this anywhere. If Beducated courses were trending more than like inflammatory TikTok hot takes, the world would look very different. And thanks again to Beducated for sponsoring this video. What this guy is actually exposing is his own rampant insecurities that he can't be addressing. So he's exporting that responsibility onto his partner by controlling her. That's what's happening here. That's the reality of this. This kind of rhetoric isn't about cheating, it's about control. If you think your partner being visible online or in public at all or to other men generally is betrayal, then you don't want a girlfriend, you want a hostage. And the funniest part is it is almost always this exact breed of man who is also like posting shirtless gym selfies 24/7, telling women that they need to be more modest. I also think it is extremely telling that this brand of men looks at anything that women post online as seeking validation, because if those men were in that position, they would only be posting online for other men to seek validation. That says nothing about women generally. All that says is that's how he would behave if he had the opportunity. Every accusation is a confession from these dudes. He would post online for validation from other men, so he thinks that's what all women are doing. I have not looked at this guy's profile. I'm gonna bet $6 trillion I'm gonna go on there. He's gonna be shirtless somewhere. His profile is in fact, most of his videos are him shirtless on the internet. That's so weird. Every accusation is a confession. Come on, this wasn't even hard. Most of his videos are him shirtless. Couldn't script this shit. Next up, we've got the ancient fossil of dating myths, which is that men and women can't be friends. We've all heard it. This one goes viral every 6 months because it's engineered to start fights in the comments. Someone makes the claim that every single male-female friendship has sexual tension, and straight away you've got 10,000 strangers arguing in the comments.
Every man will agree with this. Guys can't be friends with girls.
Women cannot be friends. You just don't understand biology. Men will sleep with women they don't even like.
Here's the thing though, saying men and women can't be friends is just really weird gender essentialism, dressed up as like irrefutable wisdom that everyone secretly knows, which is just not true. It's demonstrably not true actually if you just open your eyes and look around outside. And even if the claim that all men are secretly attracted to their female friends, even if that was true, which again, it's not, that also just automatically assumes that attraction cancels out boundaries. is, which it doesn't. Unfortunately for the people that do buy into this, most sane, regulated, healthy adults don't behave like a pack of feral dogs. So that kind of just shoots their entire argument in the foot from the get-go. And this is one of those things where if you just simply open your eyes and take a quick gander around the real world, you'll find that this argument falls apart immediately. Men and women can be friends because men and women are friends literally everywhere, all the time. You were debating the existence of something that already clearly exists. Make that make sense. The logical gender, what's going on? And by that logic, 2 lesbian women can't be friends and 2 gay males can't be friends. And yet here we are, everywhere, all friends in the real world, all the time. Queer people of all attraction types happily being friends. Heterosexuals of the opposite gender, still friends. Strange how that works. And speaking of homosexuality, this argument just feels telling. You know, if you are a grown man who is saying with your chest that you cannot be friends with women, you refuse to surround yourself with women, you don't want to be around women, actually. You have no interest in hanging out with women unless you're dating them. You only want to surround yourself with men. You only respect men. You want to spend all your time with men. You can only have close friendships with men. What kind of a picture do you think that paints of you, buddy? But that's none of my business. If you do think men and women can't be friends, the problem isn't biology, because again, everyone else is doing it just fine. It's literally just you. It's just literally like you pack of weirdos that can't do this. It's not biology. It's literally just that you don't respect women outside of sleeping with them. That's a you problem. Or you're just into men, and which is fine. That's allowed now. It might not be for much longer, but it's allowed right now. And you know who's never a problem? My upper tier patrons who keep this channel going. Big thank you to all of these people. They are literally the reason the lights are on. I'm able to make these videos. They're the reason I'm able to get on here and talk my shit, basically, and I appreciate that deeply. If you want to become a patron, depending on the tier that you choose, you can get your name in every single video. There's also bonus content over there. I think I'm gonna do like little mini like hot take commentary videos and upload them only on my Patreon. So if you've got any topics for that you want to see, leave them below or leave them on Patreon. You can also get up to 20% off my clothing brand Rift Supply Co, which is another great way to support the channel. So patreon.com/brianneworth or riftsupplyco.com if you're currently naked and need a t-shirt. If you have the means, it's a great way to support the channel. There's tiers for as low as like $3 a month. So then there's this other like faction of TikTok that talks about dating like it's some Illuminati level mind control scheme.
Is what I'm about to say toxic? Definitely. Is it easy? Yes. You just become the most confusing emotional roller coaster they've ever been on.
Great. Sounds good.
Number 1, you give them enough attention to make them obsessed, and then you disappear. And when they're sad and confused and wondering where you've been, you just tell them that you were busy. Number 2, be hot and cold. And this works really well when you just do like a day by day. Like one day you flirt really hard, the next day you act like they don't exist, and then the next day you flirt really hard, and the next day you just act like they don't exist. You will become a mystery that they will be determined to solve. And lastly, breadcrumb them into oblivion. If you haven't talked to them for a couple days, make sure you tell them how much you miss them. It's important to reset their emotional spiral to keep them obsessed with you.
So at any point did we stop and think maybe we should just be like a likable person with qualities that someone might want? Did we try that first? This is sad. I hope, do I have to say that? Or do we all just know? This video in particular is obviously saying, you know, be inconsistent and hot and cold and push and pull and trigger the obsession. Be hot and cold, keep them guessing, get them hooked, that kind of thing. In other words, emotionally abuse someone until they mistake anxiety for attraction. That's what this is. Sometimes they get on here and they make it sound really sciencey. There's talk of like limerence and scarcity mindset and push-pull dynamics, and they try to get real biological with it. But really it's the same old like pickup artist garbage that's been around forever. You're not generating love or attraction, you're just kind of manufacturing a stress response. And this can function the same way as like a drug dependency and trigger the same parts in someone's brain that cocaine would, for example. You give someone a little hit of dopamine, a hit of attention or validation, whatever it is, and then pull it away so that they're craving the next one. It is little more than like an abusive psychological experiment through Wi-Fi. Obviously deeply fucked up. The dangerous part is it is seductive advice for people who have nothing else to offer, people who know that they wouldn't be wanted just for who they are as they are. This technique promises control, it promises like adulation almost. Don't worry about compatibility or self-awareness or morals or treating someone well, just being a decent person. Don't forget about all of that. Just starve them of affection until they chase you. Target people who are vulnerable, starve them of affection until they give you attention. That's what this is. Nothing says true love like Stockholm Syndrome. Don't pay attention to how broken inside you have to be to do this, or how worthless you have to think you are to resort to this kind of technique. Like, how bad do these people think they are that they feel the need to resort to emotional abuse to get someone to even look their way and then mask their own insecurities with that validation? If your entire dating strategy is to mimic the same thing that drugs do in a person's brain, I guess congratulations, you're not actually someone anyone wants, you're just a temporary human slot machine. So let's zoom out into the bigger issue, which is TikTok turning real psychology into buzzwords. These are actual clinical concepts, but on TikTok they are stripped of all of their context and then they're weaponized. Every ex is suddenly a narcissist. Every guy who doesn't text back has avoidant attachment style. Every situationship is trauma bonding. It's like emotional buzzword bingo. Just check a few boxes and suddenly you've diagnosed your entire love life. But the problem is none of this actually helps people grow. In fact, people kind of use it as a crutch or like an excuse. It just kind of turns dating into a game of who can weaponize a TikTok diagnosis first. And when you mix that with like pseudoscience and fake evolutionary psychology, you get this like cocktail of bad advice that makes people feel smart but also leaves people more paranoid than ever. And if you've diagnosed 9 of your exes as narcissists, I'm so sorry, but you were the common denominator here. Here's something I also can't help but notice. Have you noticed the loudest people giving dating advice on TikTok are always single? And why are we supposed to be taking relationship tips from a single 21-year-old in their childhood bedroom at their parents' house? Or some dude with a podcast mic who has all the answers about how women should behave and what women want, even though it's at direct odds with everything women say they want. These manosphere dudes that always have all of the answers but mysteriously can't keep a girlfriend for longer than a fiscal quarter. A lot of the manosphere guys, in fact, that are spewing this kind of dangerous rhetoric are perpetually single, borderline incel, with a highlight reel of failed relationships behind them. These are rarely happily married men with decades of healthy partnership behind them and a wife that adores them, because those men are giving the direct opposite advice to everyone in the manosphere. And surprise, surprise, they don't get half the amount of views because it's not inflammatory. The ones going viral are dudes whose longest relationship is probably with their Xbox. But that's the beauty of the internet. You don't actually need expertise, you just need confidence. You just need to be really loud and you just need to piss people off, honestly. Talk loud enough, throw some pseudo-psychology buzzwords in, and suddenly you're a guru. Never mind the fact that you've never built a happy, healthy relationship and none of your exes have anything nice to say about you. I've said it a lot of times on this channel, but it bears repeating. A lot of these manosphere grifters have financial incentive to keep their followers lonely and isolated and angry. Their advice makes the usually young boys that follow them more lonely and more isolated and ostracized from other people because of how they're behaving. It actively keeps them from healthy connections, especially with women, which funnily enough is the thing that they want. If all of their followers were suddenly healthy and content and had good relationships with the women in their life, they wouldn't consume this kind of content anymore and these grifters would be out of a paycheck, and they know that. The goal is to keep them angry because that's what's profitable. Now let's get to one of the most deranged pieces of advice that I've found on TikTok, which is saying a lot because what we've seen today hasn't been great. And that advice is date them until you hate them.
Get ready with me while I tell you how I ended my 4-year relationship and wasn't totally heartbroken after. I dated him until I hated him. Now, I know some people are about to come for me and be like, you should just end it. It's not always that easy. Some people make it really hard for you to walk away from a relationship, or maybe you're really, really comfortable with them. You've been with them for forever, and it is hard to walk away sometimes. So, again, date them until you hate them. So the first thing that
It can be hard to leave some people, they make it difficult. Yes, it can be hard to leave generally if you're comfortable with them. That doesn't mean stay with them until it is so corrosive and toxic that you f***ing hate them. That's not the solution to this problem. This is a part of life, making hard decisions, things that are hard to do. This isn't the solution to avoiding that.
they're doing things that hurt you, they know that they're hurting you. There's no reason to get jealous or be spiteful, start arguments anymore. Now what you're going to do is you're going to sit back. You are going to let them disrespect you. You're going to watch them disrespect you. And you are going to keep doing it until you no longer want to associate with them anymore.
This is such horrible advice. This is so bad. Never, ever, ever sit there and let someone disrespect you. Just leave. Just leave. If you're in a relationship with someone who's disrespecting you and hurting you and blah, 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 just leave. No, I can't disagree with this enough.
The feelings that you have for this person are going to start going away because they're disrespecting you over and over again, and you're finally seeing it clear that it's disrespect. You're not jealous anymore. You're just getting disrespected. Now
but you were getting, that's what it was anyway. That's you, and then and it can still be that without you in the picture, you know? You can come to these conclusions and realize that you were in a bad place after you leave. You can leave first and then do that. Will it be hard? Yes. Some things are. That's life. Like, you can't avoid that. You gain absolutely nothing from doing this. You are just being hurt and disrespected for longer.
Now that you're not getting jealous anymore, you are no longer overreacting. They're not getting a reaction out of you. And they're going to start doing probably...
You know where they'd get the least amount of reaction out of you? If you just left. If you just hit the road.
And they're going to start doing probably worse things to try and get a reaction out of you. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit back and just keep not reacting. Now, I will say during this process...
Why not react? You can not react and leave. You can not react without them in your life. Why? So the solution from this woman is to stay, have them do worse things, get more hurt, more traumatized, put up with more of it, and on top of that have the emotional stress of forcing yourself not to react, when all of this sounds a lot harder than just leaving.
Now, I will say during this process, you're going to break your own heart a million times by staying around and watching this, but... while it's all happening, you're healing. You're already going through the breakup.
No, you're not. This is the part. No, you're not. Because you cannot heal in the same environment that you got hurt in, let alone if they're doing worse, let alone even if they're just doing the same as they always have. Your healing begins when you leave, not before, not while you're still in the environment that damaged you. Also, if you are still so unhealed that you are avoiding leaving because it'll hurt and instead you're putting yourself through all of this misery, you're not healing. That's not what healing is. Healing would be leaving and then dealing with the fallout from all of that. The fallout that we always have to go through in a breakup. That even after doing all of this, they will still go through regardless. This is akin to this is just emotional squatting and self-harm. At what point is it just... you're just punishing yourself, and it's piss weak. It's just piss weak. I can't respect this at all, and this is pissing me off. Instead of just breaking up like a normal person, you were telling people to marinate in their own misery and prolong their own misery, put off their own healing. For what? So you hate the person? Sounds like you hate them anyway. This is like waiting until your car engine explodes and then going and getting an oil change. It makes no sense. This makes no sense. Because congrats, now you're just on the side of the road with 3 flat tires and your engine is on fire because you didn't want to take 15 minutes out of your day 2 weeks ago to take it into the mechanic. This isn't logical. I'm getting way too wound up for this. Date them until you hate them isn't empowering. It is being a coward with a couple of extra steps and way more pain involved. The other thing I love about TikTok is even when, and it's not just TikTok, this is the whole internet, even when there is wholesome, healthy representations of relationships, even when people are making that kind of content, the comments, man, the comments are just brutal. There's this video, right? There's this like feel-good video this couple has made.
See you later. Bye.
You've been a great out today.
That's all right. Thank you. Bye.
You might be tempted to think, surely no one can have a problem with this. But this is the internet, so you'd be wrong. These comments are... then why get married? Yikes. They're both texting their sneaky links time. Let's validate the relationship to hide the fact we both have boyfriends. Why? Oof, we've literally never done this. I did that and after 22 years, we went our separate ways. This isn't good, trust me. This is so sad. Boring as fuck and sad as it is as well. There's this weird obsession with dudes on the internet that they will relate everything back to how the woman is secretly cheating. They can take the most innocuous video that actually has nothing to do with relationships or cheating and still make it about how women cheat. It's the same phenomenon as when a post that has nothing to do with feminism, men will make it about complaining about feminism. It's like this weird cuck fantasy that they're all playing out in their head constantly and they just see it in everything. Yeah, this, like more like he goes to play video games while she goes to talk to the other dude if I haven't been there already. Like you just constantly, it's like they're just role-playing this cheating fantasy. It's just like every single comment section there's men fantasizing about situations where they're being cheated on. Here it is. Here it is. This is exactly what I was talking about. Hang on now, modern feminists will hate this healthy relationship. What does this have to do with feminism? Also, this is the kind of relationship feminism advocates for. A man and a woman both helping equally with the childcare. That is what feminism fought for. A father being included and responsible for the child rearing as well. That is literally what feminists fought for. What do you mean, babe? You mean you both go and cheat on each other? What do you, why? It's always dudes. He gay? Just saying. I don't even, is the man with like a wife and kids gay? You tell me, babe. Meanwhile, she is cheating on him upstairs and I'm killing him on the game. Like why are we playing out these fantasies so publicly? It's super weird. Dead bedroom recipe, won't last long. LeMayo, this is what marriages are like. I ain't missing nothing. Unsurprisingly, Eli is single. He's going to play his games and she's going on Tinder. What is it? What is the psychology behind this? It's so weird. So here's the crux of the entire issue. Not everyone taking dating advice from TikTok is dumb for automatically taking that advice, obviously. Dating between men and women is genuinely confusing right now. Apps, hookup culture, Instagram highlight reels, the gender wars, the culture wars, obviously can be extremely overwhelming. So when random people on TikTok give you like simple, easy to digest answers, it's tempting for people to take that advice. People really want to grab onto it because it is an easy solution. But again, viral advice thrives on extremes. It makes you cynical, it makes you paranoid. It convinces you that everyone is out to manipulate you and the only way to survive is to play the game first. And we wonder why we're looking around and everyone feels lonelier than ever. The irony is that the healthiest relationship advice is almost always very boring. It's consistency, it's communication, it's having respect for each other, but that's not gonna go viral. No teen boy is gonna sit down and watch that and be like, I'm gonna take this on. No teen boy is sitting down watching a 2-minute video about someone being like, hey, maybe you should just like respect each other and talk through your problems and discuss different boundaries. Just be honest with each other and offer some respect and understanding and patience. No one's watching that, which is the problem. So instead we end up with trends like date them till you hate them. So TikTok dating advice is entertaining, I'll give it that, if you're watching from an outside perspective. But if you actually want a real relationship that lasts, you can't rely on hacks and scarcity and psychological warfare and buzzwords. Because at the end of the day, the biggest dating hack or dating secret is just that it's supposed to feel safe. It's not supposed to feel like an emotional roller coaster. If someone tells you otherwise, they're not a guru, they're a grifter. They're pandering to an algorithm and trying to make money off your insecurities. If you guys enjoyed that, so can everyone just be normal, please? Everyone just calm down, have a banana, sit in the sun, it's gonna be okay. If you guys enjoyed that, leave a like and subscribe if you want to. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, whether you agree, disagree, I don't give a shit, just be respectful. And I'll see you in the next one.